Francesco Abbruzzino with the Scoop News. The video you see on the video is a outflow over by Shamrock Park. This is one of the more scary outflows because it is South Venice, where there's a ton of septic tanks, and it's flowing like crazy, as you can see, into the water and dumping all that crazy stuff into it. And that's one of the reasons why. And you might ask, well, that's South Venice. Well, it impacts us because it's flowing right into the ICW. Venice is right across from there, and you know the rest of the story. And then it flows out to the Gulf, just like the brackish water over there at Hatchet Creek and everywhere else. So stormwater rules, the city of Venice decided to support them yesterday, and they did that because I guess back in 2011 they abandoned it, and additionally they decided to support septic tank inspections and a proposed ban on smoking. Hands Along the Water was at the meeting yesterday, which I was posting about yesterday. Did want to note, Couture was right, Councilman Couture, when he said that I don't think people realize how much we're doing. And I'll give Venice credit. They are doing a lot. But I got to take credit, pat myself on the back. Stuff like the stormwater drains and testing the water out of there, they didn't do that willingly. They did it under pressure from videos like mine that was seen by over 40,000 people. Right after that, their then assistant utility manager, now utility manager, said I was lying, fake news, blah, blah, blah. Then we found out after Robin Merlino went out and tested the water and found that it was not that safe. We found out that the city had not been testing it. And they just decided to call me fake news and a liar, the mayor and the manager of the utility department or director, because who the hell knows why. So that led to them passing an ordinance or legislation, whatever you want to call it, to start testing the water. So all Venice, I'll give them credit. They've been very active compared to all of the other entities around here. However, it isn't on their own accord. They were pushed, kicking and screaming. You guys all remember Hulk when he was on his cruise when the red tide was at its deadliest. He was saying, I don't want to do anything. I'm a man of solutions. And until I have a solution, I'm not doing anything. That went on for a couple months until the political pressure from Hands Along the Water that formed right about then, people like myself and others got too much to bear. So give them credit, but also a reminder that these guys didn't do it willingly. We had to push and shove to get them there. But they adopted that, and basically I'm going to put up an article on basically what the stormwater treatment rules are, but they essentially require treatment systems to be at least 80% effective in reducing phosphorus and nutrients in the stormwater, which leads down to our ICWs and down to our Gulf. Right now they're about 40 to 45%. Nobody really knows because they haven't really been tested. You had the Northport City Manager Peter Lear asked Venice to follow his actions in a letter to the mayor, Halleck. Basically, it's an item that was pushed back, though, because they basically said, well, we got quasi-judicial meetings, and we got to push it back. Actually, I was listening to that, and there was a lot of confusion. They were taken back by having a member of the Northport City Council come and address them, and they weren't sure how to address it back and all that stuff. Like I said, Hands Along the Water was there. Joe Kehoe with his Restore Water law that he's crafted. Basically, it's a synopsis of basically putting in a 50-foot buffer zone along the waterways, restricting residential lawn fertilizer use, septic testing, and encouraging Florida-friendly landscape, something that the city is now on board with. Dan Shipney created the one. I don't think it was Dan. I think it was Dana. She's a lady. She's on my page, but she was for a creation of the Red Tide Task Force and more education on letting the snowbirds know some of the concerns and what is, I guess, good to do with our waterways and what's not. All the other activists were there. Some papers like the Herald brought up some of the concerns that, like Councilman Daniels and Newsom. God, Newsom's annoying. What a douchebag. But talked basically about replacing septic. He's on point there, but some of the other stuff there in the meeting, I just wanted to get up and slap the guy. He thinks he knows everything. Oh, my God. You got to listen to these meetings. You would want to slap Councilman Newsom. Helen Moore, you didn't hear much from. She's the only one on the council that I didn't hear much from. But The one thing like the Tribune didn't cover is the fact that after they all left, they noted that communications are getting out to the city about what they're doing, but not the non-city folks that come there and use it, which is true. Actually, the city, I don't get any communications here, so I don't know why. I live in the city. I haven't seen any crap. But they're saying maybe we need to educate it because they said all the non-city people there that came in there, that they limited their time to 2 minutes. Basically were coming in with old news or did not know that the city is already acting, and it was concerning. Hollick went on a diatribe just basically attacking them and some guy that did send him wetlands information. He loves to attack from his diocese because he knows nobody can come and say anything to him or can't refute it, because he'll have him kicked out or arrested, which he did to an ex-mayor not too many months ago, Ed Martin. He's a douche. Oh my God, these politicians. And you guys keep electing him. How you could have elected Hollick is beyond me. But he's term limited. Everyone's like, he's got to go. He's term limited. He's out of there in November. Bob's out of there, but he wants to run for mayor, and Gates is out of there too. So they're all 3 term limited and new replacements this November. One other note that I wanted to touch on is actually, that's it. I think I'm sitting here thinking, I believe that's all the notes I wanted to touch on. So those are all the issues there. They discussed a bunch of other stuff that was basically stuff like Sharkies, which we already knew they were going to get the discounts in their contract and all that stuff. So most of the focus was on stormwater, creating a better environment for Venice and the residents and the whole community. That's it. This has been Francesco Abbruzzino with The Scoop.